Good evening, and this is Ed Hubbard of Pagan Nightly News with our latest reports that we have from around the world of paganism. Today, we honor Lady Olivia Robson, who passed November 19th, 2013, 9 years ago. And she made a huge impression upon the world as a co-founder of the Fellowship of Isis, which continues today to have members all over the world. Today, memorials are breaking out all over the place spontaneously and discussing people of her great works, which includes not only the Fellowship of Isis and the many pieces of Isis artwork and many pieces of Isis writings that she did, and she brought the goddess to us all. And she created an organization globally that reached over 93 countries and still continues to act in a major way into the world. So we were missing Olivia Robinson, and that which remembers lives. Today in India today, we have basically, this is my teleprompter, a 60-year-old man in the tribal dominated Murabanshi, from the Hindu Times, just was allegedly beheaded by his nephew over his suspicion that he practiced witchcraft. What's buried in the story is also had a land dispute, so the witchcraft is always one of those things that they accuse him of. But Sindh was alone at the house, and his wife and daughter-in-law had gone to a nearby stadium to watch a football match. It's a wonderful thing, and basically came home to his head in blood, says Sarainska Ray, subdivisional police officer of Udala. So there we go. And for his missuspect, the nephew came out. Babun was arrested, and he confessed that he had murdered him with a billhook. That looks nasty. And it was his uncle to practice witchcraft. He also was running a feud with him over land-related issues. Yesterday, both of them started a quarreling of which Banju Marsi. So we have now this. They mentioned that this is illegal to do this, and that it is no longer a defense, and that there have been over 33 cases this year filed already on the Odisha Prevention of Witch Hunting Act of 2013. So there we go. We have that one, which is like, oh my gosh. And we have a second one, and hundreds have been now accused. And this is now from the UK story, but this is in India's Bihar eastern state. Rita Devi was attacked by a mob of more than 200 people who broke into her home and beat her up before pouring petrol on her to set her ablaze on Saturday night. This is still happening, folks. At least 14 people, including 9 women, have been arrested, and 65 others have been so far named in the complaint for allegedly setting a woman on fire. After she was branded a witch. Superintendent of Police Akash Persad told the Independent News of the UK. Around 200 unknown people were involved in the incident. They have been accused by the complaint, known as the First Information Report. They said that the Superintendent Prasad said tensions have been boiling in this area for around the last month after a child in the neighborhood died due to illness. Devi was blamed for the witch after some people called her a witch. And also there was a so-called shaman summoned from a nearby state. And they turned violent, and they basically killed her. This has become an issue around the world today. And we continue, in these ideas of witch hunts continue. In other news, one of the great things, if you are Shinto, the floating shrine inside the Hatsukashi Hiroshima Prefecture, the famed Torii Gate of Itsukoshi Ninja Shrine, a World Heritage Shrine, has been under repair and revealed for the first time for 3.5 years this weekend. I think it is that. It was it brings understanding and support to it. The entire gate has been surrounded by scaffolding and protective repairs since that. Making use of the aisle on the surface, shrines are expected to be opening around 9 a.m. and noon through November, so we're offering a rare closer to see this place go up. So they've repaired this gate that is a very port of the Shinto can visit. And this was the last work was carried out. And so they talk, it's a great story. And they talk about how well it's built, but now we have seen now this shrine has been built. So yay. And so that is in good news. We're going to go. So the last piece of news I gotten from around the newspaper, and I'm sorry that I'm using a teleprompter, but I'm going to, and we're going to build one into the systems. And we want to thank you, everybody who's being here. Senegal to use witch doctors. So Sadio Mane, a major player of soccer, football, but in the United States we call it soccer, makes World Cup, says FIFA Secretary General. He came out and said it. And Bayern Munich said the star was very much in doubt for the tournament in Qatar, which kicks off in 10 days, after picking up an injury in their 6-1 Bundesliga win over Bremer on Tuesday, November 8th. So he was injured on November 8th. Long was his sideline for still unknown, but they said they're going to, and they said the first, and we're now going to they're bringing witch doctors to help bring him back because he is so important to the team. So I thought that was very interesting. So we're seeing witch doctors, as they call them, from Senegal are going to try to bring this man back to health in time for soccer. So magic is still out there. And so there we go. So those are the basic news headlines today. Today also, which will announce a new course online for those who want to write books called Speak Your Own Book Course at Which School as a supporting class. So that is that. Originally written by Chris Copeland, who runs a business of the same name, Speak Your Own Book, and has been responsible for creating more pagan books and is working to help everyone create more pagan books out there. So there we go. Those are some of the basic news. And one of the things we are hearing all the time is that what is it that is important to us? So in the United States right now, we're seeing a very big surge in paganism and Wicca. And it is now causing a bit of a controversy over who and what identifies it. And so there is a gatekeeper issue in America that is emerging that we'll be covering. But right now, we recognize that there now is a belief that the recent reports have said there will be 3 to 4 million pagans of various types in America. And this is one of the greatest examples of this, they're saying, to show globally of the growth, is the TikTok phenomena. And the TikTok phenomena just reached 30 billion hashtags. You know, that little pound sign that we've seen, which was called witch talk on the site. So over 30 billion hashtags have been developed, meaning that they've been presented in pieces along the TikTok range. So that we're seeing that Generation Z are mostly, and others are basically working through TikTok, which is now replacing Facebook and other systems as the primary go-to for the young audiences. So with that, we think that that is a very important part of our culture and everything else. So we are looking forward to it. If you want to help us with paganworldtv@gmail.com, just kind of write us at paganworldtv@gmail.com. We are looking for reporters across the spectrum, and we will soon have more. So this has been my report for tonight. We will be back tomorrow night for another edition of Pagan Nightly News.